And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, February 17th. I am Josh Engleman, and I am here to break down this 5-game slate that leads us in to the All-Star break and to multiple days off. It's great to have everybody here. Before we start, before we do anything, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Peep the banner at the top of the screen, awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo. Get yourself one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. Get a deposit bonus. We got tools on the website that can help you build out all of your, we'll call them parlay cards, on Prize Picks. Should help you out considerably. So make sure you're checking it out. Good morning to everybody. Packed house in the chat. Lots of good comments on the thumbnail. I'm not going to lie. I love it. I love it. I don't deserve any credit for it whatsoever. All of that credit goes to Eric Rodriguez. He killed it. He absolutely killed it. It pops. It looks fun. There are a couple different versions of that one, so you guys are going to enjoy that. This one's like the most normal. I got a couple other enthusiastic poses, we'll say. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Ja Morant getting ruled in last night was not something that I was expecting. I saw that pop up while I was out. Didn't play the slate last night because of Liverpool. Big victory. So we got exactly what we were looking for there. It was a good time. A lot of coffee cups out here. I like seeing it. Rowan Potter eating cereal. Man, I miss cereal. I don't ever eat cereal, and I should, because it's delicious. Favorite cereal, chat? What do you got? Mine's easy, but I'm old school. We didn't have a lot of choices back in the day. Give me a bowl of Frosted Flakes. I'm going to be a happy guy. Now they make too many weird cereals. But yeah, Frosted Flakes is my jam. A bowl of dry Kicks is also up my alley, but that's probably a little bit weirder. Yeah, Gabriel, that works. Honey Nut Cheerios, classic. Melvin, you got it. Lucky Charms, okay. Another Honey Nut Cheerios. Raisin Bran. Come on, Ken. Couple shots for Captain Crunch. A lot of Honey Nut Cheerios out in this joint. Frosted Mini Wheats. That's a cereal that I'm quite confident I've never had. Yeah, I haven't had any cereal in a hot minute, but you guys got me wanting some Frosted Flakes. Maybe next year for my birthday. Alrighty, well, we got 5 games here to break down, and we should probably just dive into it. I'm hoping it only takes a little bit of time, but the issue is Basketball Reference didn't update their database yet, which means I don't have an updated database, which means looking at yesterday's minutes is a bit of a problem. So, oh well. Let's get into it the way that we know how. I've got my coffee. I hope you guys do too. I'm quite excited to have a sip of this coffee. I'm not going to lie. It's feeling like pretty necessary, but at least we get to sleep in tomorrow, or at least I get to sleep in tomorrow, which is all that really matters to me. So if you've got a coffee, tea, water, beer, vodka, joints, bowls of cereal, maybe that's replacing a hot dog on a gorgeous Thursday morning. Whatever you got today, whatever you can start your day off with, join us. Cheers to everybody. Rise and grind. We're going big today. I'm playing this slate, by the way. I'll be on DK tonight, so everybody else is playing for second. Man, that's hot. Hotter than I wanted it to be. Thought I pulled it fast enough, but apparently not. All right, let's get into this slate, I guess. We're going to jump off with the Miami Heat. 4.5-point favorites in Charlotte. 226 total. And I don't believe the Heat played yesterday, so at the very least, we do get the correct minutes here. Let's just find out if Tyler Hero is playing. Q tag on Butler. No Hero, no Oladipo, no Markieff Morris, no Dedmon. Q tag on Martin. So I'm going to go with basically the same rotation we had last time. William Carson, imagine starting your morning with vodka. Look, man, the Eastern Block's wild. We all have our own traditions. Some do vodka. Some people do a mimosa, you know? One man's trash. One man's trash. Or something like that. Yeah, not much we really need to change here. I feel pretty good about every minute that I have on here. I guess if I was going to do anything, I would probably get another minute to Gabe Vincent. You can make a case that it should be even more than that. And I probably need to get Kyle Lowry up to 36. So maybe I do need to bump some minutes here a little bit more than I thought I did. Maybe Max Strus needs slightly less minutes. Maybe we can do something like that. 27 for Gabe Vincent, 36 for Kyle Lowry. Oh, that ain't it. We're going on to 12 and then 13. I need to cut 2 minutes from somewhere. Dedman, did he just got to do that too? Take him down to 12. Put Yurt 7 in. We'll do 2 minutes of Tuck Wagon at the 5. That's probably the easiest way to do this. That's Miami. And because they're playing Charlotte, we actually have a lot to pay attention to. It looks like the DraftKings prices on Miami are pretty advantageous, as they have been all week. So looks like it's not changing. We don't normally get to Miami. It looks like we're getting to Miami today. Bigger question is, are we getting to Charlotte? And I'm sure the answer is yes. It's just to what degree. So Book Night didn't play on Tuesday. They went to JT Thor again, which honestly makes so little sense to me. If we look at Charlotte now, no Martin, no McDaniels, no Hayward. So it's the same team. It's just, why are they playing JT Thor over James Bouknight? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't think I care is the more important piece. They did go to overtime. So we got, 36 minutes out of LaMelo. I'm going to leave that. Got 36 minutes out of... We'll take 1 minute away here from Rozier. We'll get him down to 37. I'm going to take Bouknight's minutes away. We'll see where we end up. Now, Kelly Oubre, past 2 games, 20 and 25. I don't think that I can give him 32 anymore, and that's going to be the big piece. I'm going to leave him in for 28. We've got Mason Plumlee, who's played... His minutes are just all over the place here. I'm going to take him up to 28. I'm going to take Montrezl Harrell to... they played a lot of time together. Like, even if you want to say that, even if they both played all of overtime, which obviously we could look this up, but they're playing massive minutes alongside each other. I don't know how that works. I guess it doesn't. They lost by 6, but I can't imagine playing Mason Plumlee and Montrezl Harrell alongside. This is a terrible, terrible plan. I don't get it. I do not get it at all. So I'm going to still project it, however, because they clearly have no issue doing it. Did they both play all of OT? I didn't even look at it. Montrezl Harrell played half of overtime. Mason Plumlee, they started overtime alongside each other and didn't go to PJ Washington. That's a thing that happened, which is... I don't even know how to really wrap my head around it. So I'm going to say that they both play 28 minutes. And I'm going to say that PJ Washington also plays 28 minutes. The real question will become, how do I give... Miles Bridges is just staying at 38 minutes. How do I give JT Thor... Do I give JT Thor minutes? Do I give James Bouknight minutes? Do I give them both minutes? Because I've got 17 remaining. How and when did Thor play this last game? Do we even care? No, he just played a standard issue rotation. So they never had all 3 on the floor together in the first half. They did, at one point in time, go Thor, Oubre, Harrell, Rozier, Plumlee, which, I don't know, worked, I guess, at least for a minute, maybe. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Should I be giving JT Thor minutes? It seems it. He's played the past 2 games. I don't have any other minutes that I could possibly change here, so I'm going to say that JT Thor plays 12 minutes. I'm going to give James Bouknight 5 minutes. And that is your Charlotte Hornets team for today. And let's be clear, we're going to a couple of these guys too. Let's look at it now. For Miami, that seems incorrect now that I look at it. I never made those changes. No, I did make those changes. Interesting. I'm a little surprised that Miami isn't showing up as a slightly better play. I mean, Jimmy Butler looks good. Kyle Lowry looks good. Bam Adebayo on DraftKings for 8,400. Gabe Vincent, 4K on FanDuel, 3,900 on DraftKings. I'm okay there. I could have swore they were going to pop up a little bit more aggressively. Maybe I was just looking at it wrong. I guess I was just looking at it wrong, or something didn't refresh. So lots to like for Miami, at least in that starting lineup. On the Charlotte side, you guys know the drill. We're playing Miles Bridges pretty aggressively, I might add. We're playing LaMelo Ball. I think LaMelo is pretty clearly the best option on Charlotte, especially on FanDuel at 8,800. But you got to rotate through Terry Rozier. Montrezl Harrell is 5,300 on DraftKings. He's got the power forward eligibility on FanDuel. That shit's appealing. PJ Washington, 5,100 and 4,900. I have no idea if that dude steps on the floor today for 20 minutes or 32 minutes. No clue. But you got to assume that something's happening. So make sure you get the PJ Washington. I mean, really, everybody but Thor/Bouknight is on the table for Charlotte. Now we'll go to Washington. The Wizards are 4-point dogs in Brooklyn, and I think this is going to be the first place we run into a little bit of a headache because they played yesterday, correct? And that's where we hit our first hiccup. So they did play yesterday. They're on a back-to-back, and I believe Brooklyn is as well. But as you can see, oh, nice. All right, so I'm going to update my database so that I don't have to jump through hoops for this. So so Ja, not only did Ja play yesterday, he went crazy for 44 and 11. That's hilarious. Kami, good point out there. Now we can make our lives a little bit easier here. Well, that's fun. It makes me significantly happier. I hate when I don't have everything I need right in front of me. So let's do what we need to do here. It should only take a minute. Pretty easy. Man, massive slate. Wow, Will Barton was really bad in 20 minutes yesterday. Oof. Larry, nice, man. That's awesome. That's good to hear. All right, boom. And boom. Yeah, there's nothing worse than not having all of your data correct. So this will be a quick fix. Let's get a little bit of a coffee sip in. David, you want me to give out my first half MVP? That's Nikola Jokic. My surprise team. If anybody has an answer that isn't the Cleveland Cavaliers, they'd be mistaken. And the best team so far. Oh, man. I mean, that's a really tough answer. Probably Phoenix is the best team so far. Right? Do I think they're the favorite for the title? No. Do I think they're the best team? Yeah. Anthony, this music is just built into the software that I use to stream. All right, so we got everything updated. Better player, Salah or Mbappe? I mean, I'm not going to not say Salah right now. But if you're asking me just like general talent, Kylian Mbappe. But I think that Mo Salah has had a better 12 months than he has. It's also older. All right, we got all of our exports in. So now we can actually look at this a little bit easier. So let's refresh our tables. Nikola Jokic maintains his lead as the best fantasy player in the world. 3-man race between Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. If you just go by weighted averages, 1.65, 1.64, 1.63 fantasy points per minute. It's wild, man. These guys are right. And then it's a drop off by basically 1/10 of a point. These guys are on a completely different planet. And there we go. Oh, yeah, Jokic went for 65 on FanDuel last night. Ja, the highest scorer. I haven't seen some of this. Oh, that looks pretty normal. All right, now that we're back in it, let's go to the minutes table. Let's refresh this bad boy. Now we've got Washington in there. Who's in and out for the Wizards? Q tag on Thomas Bryant. Q tag on Rui. Q tag on Gafford. Actually, we don't know any of that shit. I don't know why I'm bothering. So Rui didn't play yesterday. That actually we do know. I'm going to leave this rotation as basically what I had. We got 24 minutes out of Thomas Bryant. I'm comfortable with 25 still. Actually, we'll make it 24. Anthony Gill played a little bit less. I don't know where we're totally expecting those minutes to go. Maybe I throw 6 to Isaiah Todd just to make it easy. We got 28 minutes in for Raul Neto. I mean, since the Dinwiddie trade, Neto averaging 30, so I am going to make that 30. Ish Smith averaging 20, I'm going to make that 20. Kispert in at 32, yes. Kuzma in at 35. Probably need to make that 36. We got KCP in for 30. Where are all these minutes coming from? I reckon. I don't know. Let's get KCP up to 32. And then we've got Denny in the 4 games since Dinwiddie's been gone, has averaged 30 minutes. So I'm going to give him 30 minutes. And that would be the Wizards. And KCP is about to be a gigantic problem. But I think we're getting close enough to where we have enough rates for Washington with everybody off. Because they've now played 4 games with at least 4 games with no Dinwiddie, no Beal. And I think that probably gets us close enough to the distinction we're looking for. So we're going to say Beal off, Dinwiddie off. I'm going to say Montrezl Harrell off as well. That would be the 3 guys that dominate the ball from a usage perspective most. And then I definitely want to say that Kyle Kuzma played in the game. I don't know if I even need to mention anybody else from that. But we definitely don't want a game where Kuzma didn't play. That's for sure. Now we can grab those rates. Because we probably get some interesting rates for some of these guys. And I want to make sure we're hitting that correctly. Yeah, like Kuzma's got a pretty sizable sample at this point. By the way, guys, fun story after I sneeze. Whew, that felt good. All right. So after the Liverpool match yesterday, I popped into basically my favorite place to eat here in town. It's just the absolute best bar food you could ask for. Great environment, everything I could want. I want to be there. And gentleman comes up to me from behind the bar, introduces himself to me, and lets me know that from time to time he's playing some DFS, was at the DK Live final, and watches the show. Turns out, owner of the restaurant. It's like the coolest thing in the world to me. He spotted me, came up and said hi. I couldn't have been happier. I love this place. I've been going there for 12 years. The food is fantastic. And now I know that I've got a little bit of an in there. So cheers to the Copper Penny. If you ever happen to be in Wilmington, North Carolina, guys, make sure you're going to Copper Penny. Cheesesteak spring rolls, aces. Roast pork sandwich, aces. Best wings in town. Can't beat it. If you happen to be watching, put the steak and bacon back on the menu and bring back the habanero sauce. Anyway, let's get these rates for the Wizards. It was a real wild experience for me. I couldn't have been happier, though. Of all the places in town that could have happened to me, that is the exact place I wanted it to happen. No free meal. Did buy myself and my buddy that was with me our drinks, and that was an incredibly nice gesture to me. To me, not necessary, but very nice nonetheless. But it was fun. It was fun. You got to meet Alex at the DK final. It was a good time, but it was wild for me. I mean, the amount of I can't even describe to you guys how much I've eaten there. It's staggering. And I used to go in there pretty regularly for lunch back in the day. My previous job is very close to the restaurant, so I would be in there for lunch on a non-insignificant basis. It's good times. Good times. In the 210 minutes that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has played without Dinwiddie, Harrell, and Bradley Beal on the floor, he has a 22.8% usage rate. I don't know if we should read into that. But at the very least, I'm locking him in at 20. Not many guys here are pulling big usage. It honestly doesn't even make a ton of sense. It's basically the Kuzma show. Neto gets a big usage bump or assist bump. You see Rui get a little bit more usage. I don't want to go too crazy there. I don't totally trust it. So I'm just trying to make sure that nobody gets adjusted too heavily. And that doesn't appear to be happening. So I think we can move forward with what we have for the Wizards. Yeah, look, I had no problem with the free drink. I didn't expect anything. I didn't even know what was happening. I just assumed that I was going to get told I was not a good person somehow. But yeah, I love that place. When my parents are in town, that is the first place they want to go. We all have our own orders. My mom gets the Reuben. My dad actually gets the chicken tender platter. Sometimes gets the hot roast beef sandwich. The chicken tenders are exceptional. The habanero sauce, I miss it like you'll never believe. Let's work through Brooklyn now. You can tell this is a different day. We don't have to move as fast. It's already 6:56. Yesterday, I think I had 3 games done. Now I only have 3 teams done. Let's check out the Brooklyn Nets, also on the back-to-back. What did we get out of Patty Mills yesterday, who played 38 minutes in regulation? Now I need to look it up. How well did Patty Mills play yesterday? Because I would have had a ton of him. And I don't see his name yet, so not great. Patty Mills played 37. He had 15 fantasy points yesterday. 15. Cool. Anthony, no, it's not. I have to imagine that that's a name that's relatively common. Like, there's a place here in North Carolina, not here, I believe it's in Hillsborough, so like outside of Raleigh. Well, just like think about the University of North Carolina, called Wooden Nickel, and I would imagine there's like 100 of those too. So what do you guys think I should do about how I'm going to play a shit ton of Patty Mills for the third straight day? This is going to be another problem once again. All right, Drummond played 22 minutes. I'm going to leave him in for those 24. Is it in Carborough? I thought it was in Hillsborough, but I knew it was in the ballpark. It's been years since I've been there. Fantastic wings as well. Yeah, I'm going to have way too much Patty Mills again today. That'll be a blast. I just hate this team. I really do. I really, really do. James Johnson just playing massive minutes, too. Sometimes. Don't. Oh, just guessing, Anthony. I'm almost positive it's in Hillsborough. 17 for Javon Carter. Yeah, like that's not right either. Cam Thomas at 28 is fine. Somebody else play? Did Kessler Edwards get hurt? Must have. No way he played 7 minutes. I don't know where those extra minutes went, though. That's the real problem. I guess James Johnson. I guess Blake played. Balake. I don't really know whose minutes I need to move around here. I guess Javon Carter is probably like the first one. That allows me to give Blake like 9 minutes. Close enough to write. 26 for James Johnson is a problem that I don't trust at all. I mean, these guys just yank minutes around all over the place. The only guys you could really trust are Seth Curry and Patty Mills, and Patty Mills has been awful in the 2 games since they've been there. And I guess Cam Thomas has like normal minutes. Drummond's minutes have been normal. Bruce Brown goes from 38 to 27. James Johnson goes from 20 to 32. Just all over the map. I'm going to go with what I have in right now. Actually, we're going to take Drummond down to 23. We'll take Aldridge up to 20. That's just going to have to be it. James Johnson's about to be an issue on DraftKings. Yeah, CG, he's right, dude. He's absolutely right. It is ridiculous that the vaccine mandate in New York affects home players but not away players. That's unquestionable. No matter where you stand from a vaccine standpoint, and like, well, I'm not here to get into that kind of discussion. You unquestionably have to recognize that to ban a home player from not playing but not have that qualification for a road player is just clear nonsense. Yeah, there you go, Cantor. Utter nonsense. I completely agree there. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. No matter what your stance is, that makes no sense. So I agree. It either needs to exist and no one plays, or it needs to not exist at all. I prefer it to exist, but that just makes no sense. All right, for Washington, Kyle Kuzma for 7,700 on FanDuel looks great. And then you run into this problem where Kuzma on DK, KCP, Corey Kispert, Denny, Howell Neto are all in the mid-4s and all look basically exactly the same. On Brooklyn, I will be playing an aggressive amount of Patty Mills at 5,100. I will be playing way too much Bruce Brown, I would imagine, at 4,500. I'll be playing too much Andre Drummond, I would imagine. Seth Curry. All these guys look good. All these guys look good. You just have to be like really conscious that you don't have a guy with like Patty Mills is going to play 33, 34, 35 minutes, something like that. Seth Curry is going to do the same thing. I don't think there's another guy on this team whose minutes you can feel really confident about. Am I enjoying the NBA Top Shot crash? I don't know. I didn't know that it was crashing. I don't pay attention to it. I just buy packs blindly and build a collection. I don't really worry about it. I got an NFL pack yesterday with the Bengals cornerbacks interception. I was hoping for something a little bit better than that. All right. Well, in a weird way, CG, I would say that it's slightly different 3 months ago than it is right now, but All right, game 3, Dallas at New Orleans. For the Mavericks, who did not play yesterday, which means we know their actual injury status. If we check them out, we got a Q tag on Bullock. I believe he didn't play. Q tag on Ntilikina, Q tag on Trey Burke. Marquise Chris is out. I don't think that we have anything to worry about here. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name from the Bengals, because obviously I don't follow football, but it's definitely a not easy name to just remember and say. Okay, so Dinwiddie played 23 minutes without Reggie Bullock. Bertans played 14. Okay. I'm going to take Bertans down to 16. I'm going to take Dinwiddie down to 26. Going to leave Brunson in for 34. Make a case it should be more. I'm going to take Bullock back up to 32. And I think that covers me. Everybody else's minutes, I believe, are fine. Maxey played 35 minutes. I don't know where those minutes came from. I really, really, really don't. They didn't come from Dwight Powell. Bertans played. Dinwiddie played. Reggie Bullock didn't play. That'll do it. That makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I'm going to go 24-24 there. I think that makes a bit of sense. Steve, I haven't bought any UFC packs, but not for lack of trying. I missed this most recent drop, and I was out of town the first time they started. So I want to get them. I just haven't. And from what I understand, they're probably the best ones. At least from like a looking cool perspective. All right, Pelicans. Pelicans also did not play yesterday, which means this is a bit easier. No Zion, no Larry Nance, so we already know that. So this is going to be the New Orleans rotation. We have 4 games now that CJ has been available, so I'm actually going to grab the new New Orleans rates of what they do with CJ. Because I had been just using hopes and dreams. We'll make sure we change that. So, Devontae Graham, I have in for 29 minutes. In 3 of the 4 games, he has not played that many minutes and not even close. So, I'm going to take him down to 28, feels about right. Alvarado, also not playing nearly as much. We're going to make that like 16. Maybe CJ plays a little bit more at the 1. 32 minutes for Joval. Might actually be a little light. We'll take him to 31. Bump up Willie Hernan-Gomez a bit. I got Jackson Hayes in for 20. I think that makes the most sense. 35 for Ingram makes sense. 32 for Herb Jones, I think makes sense. Gary Clark was not the guy that played the most recent game. It was Tony Snell. We'll give Snell those minutes. We got Garrett Temple in for some time. I think that's just going to have to be it. I do have 4 minutes left over, though. Who needs those minutes? It's not the bench guys. I mean, I guess it could just be Gary Clark. I could just get Temple up to 15 and Tony Snell to 14. Yeah, I think that'll be right. Pelicans not looking very good outside of Joval on FanDuel, but maybe the rates change. That's the big piece, because I legitimately don't know what they've done so far. So these are the top 10 guys playing. And my guess is that it all just stabilizes for the most part. But it'll be nice to see how it's been over 4 games. Because I don't want to say that's a big sample, because clearly it's not. But it's enough that it'll start being directionally accurate. And we'll get a 5th game today that should really help it out. So, CJ McCollum, 29% usage rate so far. I think that makes some sense. Brandon Ingram's has been down, 25.5. I don't want to touch that one too much, because I think that'll stay. You always want to get the new guy integrated a little bit, especially when he's older. Lazy, you like that new thumbnail? You got new graphics now. It's good stuff. Okay, I don't think I need to really change anything else here. CJ maybe distributing the ball a little bit more. So is Devontae Graham. Maybe Ingram distributing a little bit less. Joval rebounding a little bit less, which is kind of makes sense since they're playing more big men at the same time. Jackson Hayes not pulling down rebounds at all, which is interesting to see. But there we go. That's the Pels. So that's another team. That's another game down, I guess. On the Dallas side, Luka, 11-3 on FanDuel. Sounds good. On DraftKings, or the rest of the team, I don't think looks all that interesting. Not a great game. For New Orleans, Joval for 6,400 on FanDuel would be someone I'm willing to take a shot on. $7,500 Brandon Ingram on DraftKings is your second best play. This is definitely the worst game we've looked at so far. But now we go to Philly. The Philadelphia 76ers are 6.5-point underdogs in Milwaukee. Philly not on the back-to-back. Minutes down a little bit over this last one. Still no James Harden, no Jaden Springer. Philly in their last game got the tar beat out of them by Boston. Game before that, they bodied up Cleveland pretty good. Maxi's minutes have been trending down a little bit. We're going to take him down to 35. We'll get Shake Milton in at 21. Might even need to be a little bit higher than that. We'll get him up to 22. Take one off a cork. We got 34 in for Joel Embiid. We got 36 in for Tobias Harris. 22 for George Niang. 32 for Matisse Thybulle might be a bit too high. I think we're all right here. Philly rates all stay the same. I'm fine with this Philly team. Let's look at Milwaukee. For Milwaukee, I don't have Giannis in, so I'm deleting this entire rotation. Started from scratch. We know that we've got a couple injuries here for Milwaukee, so let's make sure we get that correct. We have unlikely to see Grayson Allen today. No George Hill, no Connaughton, no Lopez. Wes Matthews available. DeAndre Bembry signed. I'm going to go ahead and get him added. I don't know if I left him on Brooklyn or left him in the sheet at all. I did. Let's get Bembry onto Milwaukee. Done. And the next thing that I need to do is check and see how we're doing on this stream. We're about 45 minutes in, 135 viewers, 76 likes. You guys are doing a fantastic job. I haven't even had to say anything, but if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. Alrighty, Drew Holiday in point guard, 34 minutes. Chris Middleton in some sort of wing position, 34 minutes. Giannis Antetokounmpo in, we'll say at the 4, 34 minutes. Bobby Portis, center, in 30 minutes. Serge Ibaka played 24 on the back-to-back. Let's say he plays 24 again. 6-24. Then we get it's gonna just be a lot of I did add Lindell Wigington. Good. We get Wigington in for 28 minutes, maybe? We'll give him the backup point guard run to start. We'll get the rest of this hashed out. Let's do 22 minutes for Jordan Nwora. And then, oh man, they are running super low on legitimate players. Wes Matthews is available for this one. I'll say he plays like 22 minutes. Let's get Wigington up to 24 minutes. And that leaves me one last guy in this rotation. Now, who will it? I'm going to say Bembry plays. 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 I'm going to say Say Bembry plays and give him 16. Rates don't change. So, we got Serge, Middleton, Holiday. Not much else. Oh, I don't have Giannis's rates in. So rates do change because I'm a big dum-dum and I don't read things correctly. We'll say games that Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Bobby Portis, let's say all started. Because really, there are 4 guys we need to give rates to, and everybody else is just going to fall in line after that. It's not like anybody else is taking shots away from Giannis, Holiday, Middleton, or Portis. So we don't need to get too crazy. Like Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, George Hill have all played massive minutes. Those guys are not important from a rate perspective. And if I take them off, we're going to lose our sample of everything. So I will take Dante DiVincenzo off since he's legitimately not on the team. Will that cut my sample too much? No. But if I put Connaughton, Allen, or George Hill off, that'll probably end me. Anywho, let's grab these rates. This is when all 4 of their main starters do, in fact, start. By the way, 19-6 in games where all of those guys start. So let's remember how good they are just in general. All right, there we go. Bucks rates, we're in. Alrighty, here we go. So let's delete all those old rates. Clearly, we go to Giannis first. 34% usage rate. No other real changes. So we do just want to lock him in. Drew Holiday, 20.5% usage rate. That to me is very interesting. Everything else stays the same. Middleton, 23.5% usage rate. So these guys really take a hit when they're all starting together. It's not on, it's just simply started. And they just don't have the same sort of usage. And then finally, Bobby Portis, 21.8. But after that, I don't really need to work on anybody. Usage can only be so high for anybody else. Actually, Jordan Nwora locks in his 20. That makes it worse for everybody else, too. So that's Milwaukee. We already covered Philly. And we don't think Philly's going to look all that good. So Tobias Harris, solid enough across both sides. 7,100 on DraftKings works pretty well. I will happily take a shot at Tyrese Maxey at 6,300 on DraftKings. And then Embiid, 11.4 on FanDuel. Not a lot to like here for Philly. On the Milwaukee side, Giannis looks all right. Bobby Portis on FanDuel looks all right at 6,300. I don't have a ton of interest in Drew or Middleton or anybody else from Milwaukee. Kind of gross. Final game, the late night hammer. We're closing out pre-All-Star break with the Houston Rockets taking on the LA Clippers. The Clippers, obviously one of the hardest teams to project. Houston's got a Q tag on Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood. That's miserable, obviously. They are coming off of a back-to-back, so we're not going to know this information for a while. And that game starts at 10:30. This is a disaster waiting to happen in Houston. I'm going to treat it like everybody that's available can play, which means that we don't have to touch the rotations because this is yesterday's stuff. So fingers crossed that everybody for Houston does play today. And then we close it out with the Clippers. The LA Clippers did not play yesterday, so at the very least, their injury report is updated. Norm Powell, Paul George, so everybody that can play is available. We got Kennard back. They went to a 9-man rotation, which is what I have in right now. We got massive minutes once again out of Reggie Jackson. I got him in for 34. By all accounts, it should be 35. Terrence Mann played 32. Did they go to any overtimes? No. So Terrence Mann has played, we probably got to keep him in at like 34. I've got 24 in for Covington. There's no telling where he's actually going to end up. So I'm going to go 23, give Luke Kennard another minute. I've got Amir Coffey in for 24. That seems right. I've got Zubats in for 25. Seems right enough. 18 for Hartenstein. And make that 17. I got 32 in for Marcus Morris. That feels like it needs to be 30. So that gives me 3 extra minutes. I got Batum at 27. That seems about right, which means now I'm going to get Luke Kennard up to 23, and I have 2 minutes left over for somebody random. Doesn't matter. Brandon Boston, come on down. The Clippers look exceptional. They look truly exceptional. And I probably could even make bigger changes, but for right now, I don't think that I have to. But you know what? Let's just see. Do they have a big enough sample with some of these guys off the floor? If I take Paul George off and we'll take Norm Powell off, not that that one matters all that much, and we take Eric Bledsoe off, that's really all we need to worry about. And let's just say we got Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris playing in that game, because I think Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris are going to be the two guys that use the most possessions. We'll say that Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris both played in the game. How big of a sample is that, I wonder? Let's find out. Oop, don't want to do that. Up to 94 likes. We're going to hit our mark. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's grab it. Okay, that's a pretty sizable sample that I think will work here. So maybe I should take Serge Ibaka off as well. I don't know if that changes anything really, but he did use a bunch of possessions. So let's take it down to 4 guys off. This is the final thing we need to look at. So might as well try and make it as right as possible. Oh, that actually gets Covington onto the board. So I'll allow it. Clippers rates, crunches, and then we out. Strategy show with myself and Adam today. I will also have our final batch of contenders. Keep your eyes peeled for the All-Star game. I'm going to run my sims for All-Star game contenders. Obviously, your mileage may vary on that one. Take that with a grain of salt. All right, we'll start with Reggie Jackson, 29.8% usage rate when those guys are off the floor. Also sees a pretty decent bump in assist rate, so we'll bump that up too. Next up is Marcus Morris. He's got a 25% usage rate when those guys are off. So far, this is following exactly like I would expect it to. Brandon Boston is the guy that usually gets the most. I don't really have to make that change. Isaiah Hartenstein doesn't, which I think is interesting. Terrence Mann, no real changes. Nobody actually tanks. It's just like everybody has a 50. Look at this. 16, 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. Everybody's got the same damn usage rate. I'm going to let it go. And the Clippers look like they might be the best team on the slate because they're playing Houston, and that's a benefit. All right. If Houston's at full strength, Jalen Green, Jayshawn Tate, Kevin Porter, Christian Wood, those are guys you want to rotate through. Wood for 8,100 on DraftKings is tough because he's just center. But for the Clippers, Reggie Jackson, 6,700 on FanDuel, 6,800 on DK. He might be the best play of the day. Terrence Mann, not too far behind at 5,100. Do I have Terrence Mann over projected? Maybe. but I don't know what I would change to make it less interesting. I did give him a 17% usage rate. Maybe I need to just walk that back a little bit. But I don't know where else that usage is going to go. You know, Luke Kennard's doesn't appear to go up all that high. Robert Covington's did. Nick Batum at 15 looks fine. Zubats at 18, probably a little bit too high. Isaiah Hartenstein, I'm going to bring down to just his normal rate. Amir Coffey, it's like 16 as well. I think all of this looks pretty good. Just a lot of spillover to Brandon Boston, which is fine. We're just playing a ton of the Clippers. Reggie Jackson and Terrence Mann are the best options. Batum and Zubats on DK look great. You can make a case for Morris, Coffey, Covington, Kennard, Hartenstein, all these guys on DraftKings. But guys, we just finished the final process show before the All-Star break. Cheers, guys. I'm excited. I'm ready for a bit of a break. I can't lie. So let's run our crunches now. If you haven't hit the like button, do so. This will be our optimal lineups on FanDuel for today. So remember, we're off tomorrow. Obviously, no Saturday, Sunday, but we do have a bunch of content coming out. Just no process shows. No process Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be back next week, Thursday, Friday, and I will likely be doing those shows from my parents' house. All right, so optimals on FanDuel. 329.2. It's a tie at the top for two separate lineups. Reggie Jackson, Kyle Lowry, Terrence Mann, Jalen Green, Giannis, KCP, Tobias Harris, Kyle Kuzma, Joe Val. You can make a 1v1 swap of Terrence Mann for Montrezl Harrell and get the same projection. Cantor, I am not going to miss it, man. I'm going to need like 5 straight days of not waking up at 5:15. I told myself this last year that I should start this show at a different time, and then I didn't, and now it's killing me. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. I do have my schedule pretty well set that like I like it now, but it has become a bit of a grind. $150 viewers, 102 likes. Good stuff. In the power rankings, it's looking like Kyle Kuzma is your number one play for today, although Kyle Lowry is running him down and Reggie Jackson isn't too far behind. Those three guys are firmly at the top. Look at that. 33-6, 33-6, 32-8. Only separated by 2 lineups here. Lowry, Kuzma, Reggie Jackson. Then we go into a tier. This is everybody above 20. Giannis, LaMelo, Joel Embiid, Luka Doncic, Terrence Mann, Jimmy Butler, Bam, Tobias Harris, Miles Bridges, Kevin Porter, Jayshawn Tate, and Christian Wood. That is your FanDuel optimals for today. Now we're moving on to DraftKings. DK. DK, 292.2. They get it by a 1/10 of a point. LaMelo, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Nick Batum, Montrezl Harrell, Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, and Bam Adebayo. Or you can make a couple different swaps here. Seth Curry off, Bruce Brown on, Montrezl Harrell off, Bam. Nope, Montrezl Harrell off, Andre Drummond on. So it's Seth Curry and Harrell for Bruce Brown, and Drummond gets you 1/10 of a point less. Now we hit up power rankings on DK. All righty. What do we got here? Reggie Jackson, your number one contender on DK. Terrence Mann, a close second. And then we take a giant step down to Miles Bridges. Then a little bit even bigger of a, not a bigger step down, but like another step down to Kyle Lowry, Bruce Brown, LaMelo Ball, Patty Mills, Jimmy Butler. That's everybody above 20% on DK today. We close it out with Yahoo. If anybody has any final questions, get them in now before we get out of here. We have enough time to answer them, that's for sure. Otherwise, we're getting out of here, and I'm going to start cranking out the contenders videos. Glad you love the new thumbnail. I'm a huge fan of it myself. I think it really pops, fits this show really well. There's a couple different versions, things that I'm doing instead of just being like looking up in the air. So keep your eyes peeled for that. 293.7 for the Yahoo Optimal. LaMelo Ball, Cam Thomas, Reggie Jackson, Patty Mills, Kyle Kuzma, Terrence Mann, Montrezl Harrell, and Bam Adebayo. The final power rankings before we get to the All-Star break. Here we go as I enjoy more of my coffee. Oh, I'm so sore. Got to stretch today. Alrighty, Reggie Jackson in at number 1 on Yahoo pretty clearly. Terrence Mann in at number 2 pretty clearly. Then we take a step down to Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, Miles Bridges, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Kuzma, Bam Adebayo, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Maxey. 6 of those guys, all same amount of lineups. Cam Thomas, Kyle Lowry, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic. Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic all showed up in the exact same amount of lineups. That's bonkers. 129 viewers, 108 likes. I'm really surprised that people don't stick around for the crunches anymore. That's weird. That used to be like the big appeal, and now it seems like nobody gives a shit. It's crazy. Anyway, guys, I think we're done. The final process show before the All-Star break is complete. It's been a good one. 5 up, 5 down. Contenders, strategy show, both coming out. I'm going to play tonight. Maybe we'll see what my day looks like. Maybe I'll pop into Discord today, do a little bit of a office hours, or maybe I'll just be in Discord right before lock and hang out for a bit. So if you're a premium sub, that's good for you. If you're not a premium sub, go to awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo. You can sign up and get yourself 1 free month. Plus some extra goodies at Prize Picks. It's all on the banner right here. I did a good job of pointing. Well, guys, that's it. I'm going to get out of here right now. Thank you for being here. It's been fun. I don't know what you guys are going to do without me for the next couple of days, but we will be back here again Thursday of next week, 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. That would be the process.